folks, behind me, we're at Veterans Memorial Fieldhouse at Salem High School for the big one in the Northeastern Conference. Salem entertaining Classical, and along several weeks ago, they would have thought that Salem needed this one to get a piece of the championship. Instead of that, Salem has one leg up, and Classical needs this. Everybody thought Classical. They soundly beat Salem by 18 at Classical, and Salem's going to turn some things around. Before we start, we'd like to mention to the families of Aaron Osgood and Podres Niles, a terrible incident happened on the campus of Lynn Classical High School. It really shook the city of Lynn and the students and everybody else, and it's just a terrible incident. Our heartfelt sympathies, our prayers, and our thoughts go to the Niles and Osgood family, and we really wish them well in their time of need, John.
Oh, John, a terrible thing, and it's just hard to deal with it, and I'm certainly sure it's very difficult for the student body at Classical to deal with, but that's why we play these basketball games and the football games, is to create fun and enjoyment for the kids, and then you see the terrible tragedy of what life really is out there on the streets, and it's a terrible dose of reality, and hopefully the kids can come here tonight, enjoy watching a basketball game, enjoy playing in it, and go on till tomorrow.
You find it somehow it's hard to say that a championship means a lot to the kids, but you have to say in all essence, it's only a game, and it's just one step that these kids are going to make. They're going to make a lot more steps along their life, and we certainly hope that they make all the right decisions. And it's unfortunate that the young man Aaron Osgood won't be able to make those decisions. He's no longer with us, and we sympathize with his family, and again, our deepest sympathies. And we just wish the best for Mr. Niles, who is in the hospital. And Podres Niles, and we hope he certainly comes out of this all right. And we certainly wish the police well in their endeavors to find whoever did this and get the little cloud that's over Classical right now and get that off. Looking at the basketball game, Salem has got a lot to do to turn around. It's good to see both teams are now turning it around. Calvin Johnson has started to put the ball in the hole. He had difficulty. Scooney Penn just got 35 against Winthrop. He was having a little shooting slump, as Scooney would say. But we did the game at Classical. What does Salem have to do to turn it around, even though they're home?
I don't know. I really don't, John. Classical played as good a game as they can play that night, and they, in my opinion, dominated a good Salem team. If Classical comes out with the fire in their hearts and plays that well again, I don't think Salem can beat them. But will Classical be able to sustain that type of effort? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out in the next hour and 15 minutes.
Most people thought they were looking to this game, and that's why they stubbed their toe a couple of times against Winthrop at Winthrop and against Gloucester at home. But they were looking past them, thinking that they had beaten those two teams the first time around rather easily and had come up and bit them. But size-wise was the difference in the first game. Marcos and Calvin had their outstanding games, but I don't know if they can cope with the size inside. And now they've got a three-point shooter, Powell, also back, who was ineligible. And Salem is, we'll see if they use the gimmick defense against Scooney they did before. But it's certainly going to be interesting. And as you said, in about an hour and 15 minutes, we're going to find out whether Salem is the overall champion or we have co-champs. We'll be right back for the start of the basketball game.
For thousands of kids with just one parent, a big brother or sister makes a big difference in turning a kid's life around. Big brothers, big sisters, big impact.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Fieldhouse at Salem High School. John Henry, I'm John Hoffman, as they're announcing the starting lineups. And a little bit different for Classical. Marcos Echeverria will play, but he's not going to start. He's banged up a little bit, his side or his ribs. And Steve Powell, who just became eligible a couple of weeks ago, will get the starting nod.
Oh, that's a big loss if Marcos can't go full tilt tonight for Lynn Classical, John. He is, in my opinion, their most important player. But they have a great ball club. They're as deep as any team I've ever seen in high school, and they're certainly going to go to the bench real strong, bringing in Powell.
Well, they're a lot stronger now with Powell coming back off the ineligible list. He had a summer and a half playing. He had a great game, a great season.
Right, and here we're seeing the Salem starting lineup.
And
here comes the big guy, Mr. Giardi, who's really got to play a ball game for him tonight.
Yeah, they got Phil Downs in the starting lineup as well, which is Calixte, Mateo, And they usually save their best for last.
I wonder who that might be, John.
Rob Giotti's already out there. They got Calixte, Mateo, Giotti, and Downs, and Scooney Penn. So we usually see George Reyes in the starting lineup. LaJoie was the sixth man. LaJoie being hurt, he's on the bench. So there's the starting lineup, and we're going to have the national anthem. To Veteran Memorial Fieldhouse as we get set to start. It'll be Matt Larino, Lewis Eaton, Steve Powell, Julio Sanchez, and Calvin Johnson. We might mention the new all-time leading scorer for Lynn Classical, Calvin Johnson.
Our congratulations to Calvin, and you know, not that it really matters. He scored so many points, and he's had such a great career at Lynn Classical. Seems like just yesterday when we saw him for the first time, John. But he's been playing a long time in a lot of ball games.
Not to mention his prowess on the football field as well. He's had a terrific athletic career at Salem. He'd like nothing better to get a. They haven't got a chair or a title in the Northeast Conference when these seniors have been here. 1987 is the last time that Classical had a piece or an outright championship.
Outright championship.
Salem, some people are giving them the championship last year, winning it on the court.
Well, on the court, they won right off the tip. You know, that just shouldn't happen. Somebody fell asleep on the back end of that center circle jump.
So Salem jumps out early. They didn't jump out early the last game, and Salem going straight man to man. Sanchez can't hit the shot. Tipped around.
Oh, strong rebound in there.
Saved. Classical winds up with it. Shot is missed. Sanchez gets it and lays it in.
That's aggressive rebounding that time, John. You ended up with 3 Classical players on the board. Salem's going to have to do something to box them out, or it'll be a tough game for them.
Well, we see a little different. They're not using a gimmick defense on Scooney as Mateo misses the shot, Eaton with the rebound.
Well, again, without having Echeverria available to you for the whole ball game, that kind of takes away some of your defensive tools.
Shot from outside is no good. Rebounded ahead. This is Mateo with the basketball. Calixte, nice bounce pass, up and in by Downs.
Nice job by Calixte that time. Found Downs open on the baseline.
Sanchez gets swallowed up. We got a foul. So 4-2 4-2 early. Salem with the lead. As you see the replay here, this is Calixte with a nice bounce pass, and Downs hits the shot. Downs was out for a while with injuries.
Oh.
The pass picked off by Downs.
Went off Classical's foot, and the official made a correct call, and it's going to be Salem ball. But that time the pass across the key was a little floater, and Eaton just never came to the ball. He just kind of waited for it. And you've got to be a little more aggressive to the ball, or they'll get picked off all day long.
They have the gimmick defense again with Scooney when he brings the ball up. Mateo, this is Giotti. Mateo for 3. No good. Out of bounds, off Salem.
Yep.
John Jaworski and Mr. Quigley.
Yeah, Mr. Quigley.
We apologize. We'll get his first name. We don't have it right now, but we'll get it. The two officials.
And hopefully we won't have to mention them the rest of the way, John. There's a nice play.
Good play by Calixte. Powell.
Nice defense.
Yeah, Powell looked to pass, and somebody shut off the passing lane. He had to hold on to it, and Calixte picked it off.
Yeah, he just gave up his dribble, John, and then all of a sudden had nowhere to go with the ball. Again, he hasn't played a lot of minutes this year, and that inexperience might show a little bit. But losing Marcos is just a big blow.
There looks like a matchup zone by Salem. Sanchez gets swallowed up, gets the ball out to Calvin for the 3. It's good for 3.
And I was just going to say they're going to probably start working the ball inside to their big guys, and Calvin nails a 3.
Giotti back to Mateo from the corner. Hits the shot.
Well, that's a big shot over Eaton. Eaton was up high, and he just took it high over him, straight down through the bottom.
So back and forth we go, 6-5. The Witches now take the lead as Powell against Mateo. I think he thought he was going to the back court, and he tried to save it, and he threw it out of bounds. So Salem will have the ball, and Classical picks up full court.
Again, something that we didn't see in the Classical Salem game at Classical, John. The defense for Salem just really bothering the ball handlers early in the ball game. Didn't see that at Lynn Classical.
Giotti loses it, Downs throws it up, no good. Sanchez with the rebound. So they've yet to get Scooney on track in the game. Calvin, the big scorer for Classical, has got a 3. Inside, this is Eaton with the turnaround, no good. Big rebound by Downs, that's a nice play.
Boy, that's a nice athletic play that time. Keeping possession of that ball, nice job.
Scooney looking to go against the double team. To Mateo, the straightaway jumper is good for 2. Mateo's got 6 of the 8, it's 8-5. The Witches, as Salem now puts the pressure on a little further up. Powell beats it, gets it to Calvin. Calvin's shot, no good. Lorino with the big rebound. Throws it up too strong. Giotti kicks it out. This is Calixte. Pass. Big block by Eaton. They're going to call a foul on Eaton, though. What a big defensive play. Nice pass by Calixte.
Right, he pinned the ball against the board, but he got him down low with the body. Here we're going to see it.
Scooney Penn will be looking for his first points, as we've yet to say, at jam-packed Veterans Memorial Fieldhouse.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I think we take it for granted when we come over here for a big game like this that the place is going to be jam-packed, but it is absolutely amazing when you look around. You don't see too many empty seats in a gymnasium for a high school basketball game.
Downs almost kept it alive. It's knocked out of bounds. By Downs, it'll be Classical basketball. And wouldn't I love to see this many people for the Hoffman game?
Oh, boy. No question about that. And with the talent you bring in, John, and the caliber of play, you know, it should happen.
Lorena with the fall away, no good. Tipped away by Downs. Johnson throws it up and in. They give him 3. Calvin with a second trifecta. And it's 9-8. Mateo, no good. Powell with the rebound.
Double on Powell immediately. He got away from it.
He put it on the floor and almost cost him. Sanchez lays it in. He's got 4, and Classical gets back on top. 10-9. Right now they've...
Oh, nice steal.
Almost by Calvin. Mateo to Downs. This is Penn. Immediately he's double teamed, looking for a pick. Can't get loose. Gets it to Downs underneath. The reverse, no good.
And Eaton made the play, John. Eaton made him.
Intimidation.
Yeah, he made him stop the easy layup. He went reverse, and he just was already off balance. Now you're going to see Marcos Echeverria come in. Here you see the play. You saw where he had to go reverse when Eaton came into the play. Nice play by Eaton.
Now this makes Classical smaller now with Powell and Marcos.
What's the man? Help! Help!
Yeah, interesting lineup.
Tommy Giatti blocked by Eaton. Sal Mateo with a nice defensive play, getting the ball before Calvin does. Calixte throws it up, no good.
Nice rebound by
Giatti.
Did he travel or did he get him?
No, he's going to get it with a foul.
Looked like he took that hop travel step that they call quite often, but
Yeah, it's going to be against Lorino, I think. Good shot.
here you see it. You're going to see the ball come off. There's Giatti. He gets it. See the little quick hop, but he called the push.
Giatti shooting 2. 10:51 left in the first half. 10-9. Classical Rams on top. Tommy Giatti misses the first. Can't get the second one either. Tipped around. Powell comes down with it.
I think Coach Grass is going to watch Echeverria early in the game, or early in his appearance in the game, and see how he looks out there.
The foul's going to be against Penn. And of course, what we have now, John, is what Salem has had for many years. The point guard with the two wings that can shoot the three and take it to the basket, Calvin Johnson and Powell. And if Marcos penetrates, if he draws the contact or the defense, he'll dish it out. Classical will be open for threes. Marcos inside, throws it up and in.
Boy, when you post up your point guard, you know you've got something going for you.
He went up over a couple of people.
Oh, great
Mateo
steal.
taken away by Calvin. Calvin lays it in. Scooney can't hit the shot. Knocked out of bounds by Salem.
No, it went off Lorino. I think he's giving it to Salem, John.
14-9.
There you see it. There's Johnson making the layup down this end.
Nice pass from Giatti to Downs. That breaks a six-point run by Classical.
And just good coaching there, John. Nice play, set up out of bounds, and made the deuce.
Calvin covered by Saul Mateo. Marcos against Scooney. Calvin's going to get called for steps.
Yeah, he kind of left before he put the ball to the floor.
Matt!
Bill Sanchez comes back and Lorino goes out. So it's Sanchez and Eaton up front. Powell, Echeverria.
Let's go, Steven!
The three guys.
Steven, how you feel?
The Rams as Calixte brings it up to Scooney. And Scooney immediately double teamed. Downs lets it fire, hits the front rim.
Got a wing.
Marcos, Calvin by himself.
Oops, that's intentional.
They're going to call it intentional. You didn't go for the ball.
Yeah, you just can't do that, John. You're going to give up the 2 free throws, and you're going to give up the ball. It just makes no sense.
You have to make an attempt for the basketball, and he didn't. He just wrapped him up.
He did the good thing, back in, what that rule does. Yeah, you see him just kind of grab him from behind and hold on to him so he doesn't get hurt. Back in the old days, you'd just go up and hammer him, and you get somebody hurt. But now the 2-shot intentional foul kind of, in that instance, takes away. If he went aggressively for the ball and hammered him into the floor and somebody possibly get hurt, just no intentional foul.
Right.
But just by grabbing him and holding him, they call it 2 and possession. I think they really have to look at that rule, and I think you have to look at the result of the play, John. Even though you don't expect the official on the floor to do that, the rules committee has to do that.
I agree. Frank Joyer is in the basketball game now for Salem. He's in 4 downs.
Louis Eaton's wide open on his side, John, and nobody saw him. Oh, he's still there.
Eaton stuffs the ball home.
He lined that up for maybe about 15, 20 seconds before he actually got the ball. And the crowd goes cuckoo.
17-11 as Eaton brings everybody up. Scooney again, double team by Calvin and Marcos. To Mateo, the straightaway is good for 3.
Boy, that's a big basket by Mateo. Come back after the crowd going nuts and turn the Salem crowd right back on again.
17-14. Marcos gets open. Can't drive the lane. They swallow him up. 2-3 matchup zone doing well for Salem here. Giotti gives it a pen off the miss. Ahead to Mateo. Ducks his head. Can't hit the shot. Rebounded by Calixte. Big block by Eaton. What a big play that was.
Eaton was on the way down. He was on the way down when he made that block.
Joe Bartow is in replacing Powell for Classical. Scooney gets loose, can't throw it in. Sanchez with the rebound, and we get a foul.
Yeah, got to grab right
Calixte. Classical at 16-2, Salem at 15-1.
No matter what the records, John, this year, 2 of the best teams in the state.
Oh, absolutely. To Eaton again. Throws it in.
Now you saw the jam the last time. That time you saw the nice body control that Louis exhibited and just kind of went up nice and soft off the glass and in.
And give credit to Marcos, who penetrated and drew the defense.
And that's what penetration will do.
It is Eaton again with a big rebound.
On the play tonight, John.
Marcos with the fall away, no good. Calvin looking for the rebound, gets it. Lines up the 3. In and out. Giotti with the rebound. Well, we played better than a period, and Scooney's only had like 2 shots as he throws it in.
He made one of his great plays there.
And I was just about to say, John, they're only down 5, and Scooney hasn't got going yet.
Yeah, that tells you something.
Eaton with the layup.
Tried to jam that one home, and it went off his fingertips, and luckily he got the roll and went in.
So the size has been a factor. Certainly Eaton has been a factor. And they throw it away. Giotti was looking to set a screen, nobody home. Marcos lays it down to Calvin. He'll go to the line to foul on Calixte.
Yeah, real tough. He got a 3-on-1, and Calixte really didn't have much choice. He had to foul him.
There's the size of the crowd. Here's the replay, John.
You're going to see the turnover. You're going to see Marcos come up with it. He's going to lay it back down, and then the foul on Calixte.
They try to throw it in the middle to Tommy Giotti, and he turned to set a screen for somebody. And the pass, he never saw it. It was behind him, and...
Going to have a timeout here, John.
Well, I think as with the 7 minutes to play, you see the score sheet
Hey,
board.
come on, the 5 guys who are in there right now are sitting right here. What's Calixte's number? Huh? Okay, Calixte went out. All right, so you got Mateo now. All right? All right? And you have Scooney. We're doing the same thing. Now, Matt, low left on defense. Lewis is low right. Hey, let's keep going to Lewis, all right? There's a big-time mismatch there. Listen to me for a second. These are the plays that will work off of this. M&L, double stack, single stack, right? Where you just send it back to Lewis, and also let's not throw gig 3 will work. Gig 3, we always get a layup off of that, all right?
Outside of you, right? And then you go to the middle. Okay, so make sure he doesn't get outside of you. Taylor 22, right?
Yeah. Do the job, Joe, all right?
You know, I thought we were going to go into the Salem huddle and listen to Tommy Giotti.
At least they haven't called Tommy Giotti Al yet.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's next.
I know.
But
funny. But anyways, it was, I'll tell you, I've said it a number of times, but both Coach Garrity and him, Coach Grasser, have done it in the past and allowed us to mic them. And I just don't think I'd do it if I was coaching. My hat's off to both of them.
Calvin misses the first, so actually a pretty good foul on Salem's part, as the best he can do is 1. Matt Larino was back in. Misses the second one, so he didn't get anything out of it.
Right, so it was a good foul, and different than the intentional foul, of course. Calixte was going for the ball, and you don't really lose anything. You make a smart play, actually.
Scooney from the corner. And we got a whistle and a foul against Frank Joya, who was leaning on Matt Larino.
They both went up strong and some bumping going on.
And you're looking at the game now, Joe. I'm looking at Scooney as in a little frustration. Throwing a couple that I'm sure Paul Gary would like to have him take it back. But he's trying to get off the slide. He knows they need his offense to get going.
You see, that's why he's pressing a little bit, John, because they know they need him. And there's the play that Coach Grasser called for.
And there's Matt Lorino.
And it worked out with Lorino and Eaton both down on the baseline, and just too big, too strong.
And right now that the height advantage is certainly working for Classical inside. They're getting many more opportunities than Salem. Giotti blocked by Eaton.
That's a great
Marcos, and that's a big play right there.
He's got a back court because he grabbed possession apparently in the front court and carried it back.
But without that block by Penn, the pickoff by George Reyes, it's a layup for Calvin Johnson. Lewis Eaton, nice haircut.
Yeah.
A little message in the back. We'll have to try and see what it says. And now they're trying to pull Salem out a little further, trying to work something underneath. Bateau gets swallowed up. And we get a jump ball, and it'll be Salem basketball.
Again, they're making Penn work the whole way.
They certainly are.
Just a little token pressure that time, but still pressure. And immediately, if he's going to hold on to the ball, they're going to double him. And Salem has to score down here.
There's Downs.
That's a nice play by Downs that time. But Salem's going to have to get some scoring out of Downs and Giotti down low when the double comes at Penn.
Well, Giotti dropped the ball down. He drew Eaton to him, and Downs wound up with the uncontested layup.
That's a nice play by Giotti.
Knocked down. Get it back. Calvin lines up the three. Won't get it. He got knocked down. He'll get 3 foul shots, and that's another foul on Downs. See, Paul will come back.
Here we're going to see it. The ball's going to end up down here in the corner with Calvin Johnson. You see the ball go up, and the shot, the actual foul wasn't on the shot. It was after Calvin came back to the floor. So it really didn't affect the play, but it's going to affect the game. It puts him on the line for 3.
He's going to get 3. 23-18. Classical and Calvin looking to extend that as we see Grasser on his bench. Calvin the first in double figures. He's got 10. Make it 11. And it could be 12. In and out. Rebound by Downs inside. So the biggest lead of the game for the Rams. They lead by 7, 25-18. Coming up on the 5-minute mark left to play in the first half. Downs to Scooney in the lane. Big blocked by Sanchez that time. And Calvin lays it in. And the difference right now is Salem is getting virtually nothing inside. And Classical's getting 2 or 3 chances.
Seems like everything that's thrown up in the key. Wow. Everything that's thrown up in the key is getting rejected, and you can't score that way.
Scooney felt the pressure and threw it up, but they're not going to give it to him. They're going to call it on the floor, and Salem will put it in play.
Okay, here we're going to see it. The ball's going to come out, and a little body there. Oh no, that's the block before.
That's the block. Here
comes
Calvin.
Johnson down. Yeah, same type of play before, but the foul was called. I mean, same type of play that was this time, only a foul was called.
Big play by Sanchez. Stole it, saved it, and gives Classical the possession of the basketball. Powell for 3. It's partially blocked. Calvin almost had it. Knocked away by Downs. Calixte pushes it up. Calixte throws it up lefty. Partially blocked, and now 3-on-1 the other way.
Got him on the pass off.
Calvin got hit. They're going to call it on Giotti. And I would think that Classical would be in the bonus. We've had a lot of fouls called on Classical here on Salem.
Here we're going to see it. There's the nice pass by Echeverria, and then the call on Giotti, and Giotti doesn't agree with it, but I think you can tell by that replay there was all kinds of body contact.
Yeah, you definitely hit him with the body.
Yeah. But then again, most people don't commit fouls, John.
Calvin misses. Sanchez wrestles it away.
Big block by
Downs.
Came out of nowhere.
So Phil Downs saying we can do that too.
Yeah, big time.
Powell fakes the three, gets swallowed up, drives the lane, dumps it into Larino.
And one.
Can't hit the
Got him
shot
from behind.
but Reyes hit him and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Reyes got Larino from behind. Powell did some nice penetration there. Laid it off to Big Matt. Here you're going to see it. Here's the penetration. You see Larino go to the basket, as all good players should, and he gets hit from behind.
That's a nice little pick and roll.
Oh, just a nice play. But again, penetration and knowing the game of basketball. As soon as your man leaves you to pick up the penetrator, you roll to the basket. It's so easy when you say it, but a lot of kids just never learn it.
Just the way they put it on the diagram, on the board. Larino makes two.
Eaton's coming back and Johnson's going out.
Now they go big again with Eaton, Larino, and Sanchez up front with Powell and Marcos in the backcourt. They're still using the triangle and two, except that the two is on Scooney Penn.
Yeah, and Johnson went out and he's going to the locker room for an equipment fix, I think, John.
George Reyes can't hit the three, and Pascal had too many green shirts on the ball. He lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, they had both, Louis Eaton and his partner there, Sanchez, battling for the ball and went out of bounds off of them.
Salem's going to take a timeout to talk about it.
I wonder what Coach Grassie's going to talk to him about this time. They're up 29-18 with 3:36, John.
We'll find out.
All right. Okay. Look, here's the lineup right now. Matt and Lewis are down low on the blocks, right? Julio's on the foul line. Defensively, you got Scooney, right? And you have Calixi. Okay?
Just play back.
Okay.
Man to man.
Look, now, all we got to do, right, is see if we can continue to get the ball inside. All right? There's mismatches there. All right? You're playing the guard spot right now. When we run the plays, right, Lewis and Matthew are low on the blocks. Let's get Gig again. Gig three. Gig three will work. All right? No, God stop low. Why don't we try God stop low? Yeah, if they're man. Oh, wait. If they go back to 1-3-1, you take the high post, and Matt and Julio on either corners, and against a 1-3-1. Steven, and you split the top against the 1-3-1.
We're on defense.
Hey, looking at that, Tommy talking about going back to a 1-3-1 defense, and you hear him say, just keep pushing the ball inside, get it inside. We're getting some good things inside.
And they absolutely are. Salem has to counteract that. They've got to get Penn loose on the outside.
Matt Morenzi is in the game. Penn to Downs for two. Downs has got 8.
And again, there you saw the penetration by Penn, and the double team immediately, and he kicked it down to Downs. Downs made the basket. Nice play.
That ends a long drought by Salem. It gets him less than double figures. Marcos comes right back and kicks it back up to 11.
And again, I hate to repeat myself, but Echeverria goes to the basket as well as anybody in the conference.
Maybe in the state. Mateo
with the body.
Hit Sanchez,
Sanchez got
will draw the foul. So it's Penn, Calixte, Morenzi, Mateo, and Downs.
Here you're going to see the penetration and just, he just breaks by his player and he's wide open to the basket.
And he looked like he was about to pass the ball because he left the floor.
Yeah, and he
was able to hang.
He was wide open.
And he was able to hang and lay it in.
Was able to control his body and just toss it up off the glass.
For Classical, it's Maria, Powell, and Calvin. The shot is missed.
Oh, that's
rebound.
As good a rebound as you'll see.
And that's a great play by Calixte.
Oh, boy. That's impressive.
Throwing it up lefty.
He went up strong, got the ball, and then took it back up left-handed. Great play.
Echeverria, Johnson, Sanchez, Eaton, and Powell out there. Powell drops it down, picked off by Penn. Penn going one-on-one, lays it in. Salem back within 7.
And Salem seems to have kicked it up a notch defensively, John.
There's off Calvin's foot. Scooney Penn draws the contact. couple of years ago, the game at Classical, Scooney Penn, in a game that was for the championship. Scooney Penn broke open a game when Classical actually had the lead, went into a weave. Scooney made 3 or 4 steals and got baskets that way and broke the game open. And he can beat you 7 ways to Sunday.
You're going to see it. You're going to see the intense pressure on the ball. There's Powell comes through the lane, wants to kick it down to Eaton. Penn anticipates it well and just goes coast to coast. But again, the defense, the last 2 trips down the floor for Salem on their defensive end have been, 2 or 3 steps above where they've been for this game.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure Coach Garrity, when he called the timeout and said, "Look, guys, we're down 11 points here. We've got to play some defense." And it's paid off. They've cut it down to 5 with 2:14 to go in the first half.
They were down as much as 11. They've cut it to 5. And we're coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first half. Penn has got Echeverria outside. Sanchez a long way from the basket. And they have a huge height advantage with Eaton against Downs inside.
But again, they're showing patience here, John. They're waiting for something to open up.
Kelvin, the spin, no good. Tipped up, no good. Morangi comes up with the rebound. Penn kicks it up. Scooney throws it up and in. He got knocked down for his trouble. Salem on an 8-point run. Kelvin almost lost it to Mateo. 31-28. And they're going to call a foul on Mateo.
Boy, I'll tell you. That's a tough one to take. You're making your run, and then you see a real chippy call. Here you're going to see the Penn three-pointer down the other end. He goes to the floor afterwards. No call there, and then we get a little push out, way out at the top of the key. I'm sure the coach from Salem, Mr. Garrity, wasn't too pleased with that one.
No, Scooney.
Let's see if we can pick it up. I mean, where is it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either, and I know I'm getting a little older, and my eyes aren't as good, but
you don't very often see Scooney go to the officials, but he was on him for that last one. The shot is missed, tipped around a couple of times. Mateo saves it to Giotti. Eaton was able to make 1. It's now a 4-point lead. Salem with the basketball. Coming up on a minute to play. This is Downs to Scooney. Gets a pick. Drives the lane, lays it up and in.
All of a sudden he's making those baskets, John. No rejection that time.
Well, they got a big pick from Giotti. Got 1-on-1.
Then he made a nice move around the big guy.
And they were looking for the jump shot. He took it to the basket. 45 seconds left. 32-30. The Rams on top. They've led most of the first half. Kelvin gets loose.
Yeah, he got him.
He'll go to the free throw line. And Kelvin has that ability to hang up there for a long time. And he's got that knack of showing you the ball and taking it away, and you wind up hitting him. 38 seconds left on the clock. Kelvin will be shooting 2. He's got almost half their points. He's got 14 out of 33. Make it 15 out of 34. 34-30. 35 seconds left in the first half. And
this is going to hold for 1.
This is a big game, Joe. The television stations are here. I mean, the other TV stations. Downs throws it in.
Boy, he's had a nice first half, John.
He's got 10.
Yeah, he's had a nice first half. He's come up big for him.
10 seconds left. 34-32 as Marcos with the basketball.
Clear out and let Echeverria go to the basket. That's a foul.
He lobs it up, no good. Tipped around. Downs to Calixte. The horn's going to sound. Mateo is by himself, but they don't get the shot off. But it was 31-20, an 11-point lead. And Salem went on a 12-3 run to get back within 2. It's 34-32 the Rams at halftime. Don't go away. It's going to be a barn burner of a second half.
I urge you to have your children immunized against polio, measles, mumps, diphtheria, and hepatitis B. For information, call the American Liver Foundation, 1-800-223-0179.
We're at halftime at Veterans Memorial Fieldhouse with certainly as intense as good a first half of basketball or any half we've seen so far this year. Classical leading most of the way, getting it up as high as 11. Salem playing catch-up, getting it back within 2. The score at halftime, 34-32. The scoring for Salem, Scooney Penn has got 11. Saul Mateo had 9. Ben Calixte had 2. And Phil Downs had an exceptional first half with 10 for the total of 32. For Classical, Matt Lorino had 4, Julio Sanchez had 4, Lewis Eaton had 7 with about 4 or 5 blocks, Marcos Echeverria had 4, and the big scorer in the first half, Calvin Johnson, had 15, and we saved Calvin for last. We mentioned to you that he had become the Classical all-time leading scorer. He needed 30 in a ball game to do it. He got 32 in the first half against Danvers, so we thought we'd show you a few highlights of how he's got to be the high scorer at Classical. We're going to do that right now.
Thanks there, can't get the ball. Johnson with the rebound. 3-on-2 for the moment. Johnson going to the basket, lays it in.
When Calvin Johnson came on the scene as a freshman in 1990-91, he never dreamed he would reach such lofty goals. But he had great teachers like Nick Lampros, Mike Kimmick, and even today with Marcos Echeverria. And as a junior against Heavily, he would hit a milestone.
Marco over to Calvin. Calvin for 3. And yes, he's got it. His 1,000th point by C.J. Calvin Johnson as he nails the 3
would lead his club to a state title. In 1992-93, third at Worcester Central, he shows us his leaping ability. As he moves out of the junior year into his senior year, the all-time scoring mark in the grasp of Calvin Johnson, held by his cousin David Anderson, who set the mark back in 1988. 2 nights ago against the Danvers Falcons, Calvin Johnson needed 29 coming into the game. There's 2 from the start as Johnson was on fire in the first half. He wanted to get it over with early. With Salem on the docket on Tuesday night, he wanted the focus to be on the team concept in winning an NEC championship. His teammates would help out. Lorino to Echeverria down to Calvin Johnson, and he was 2 points closer to being the all-time leading scorer for Lynn Classical. With 3:45 remaining in the first half, Johnson would stop and pop from the foul line and set the new all-time scoring mark for Lynn Classical. It was a moment of disbelief.
I didn't think I was going to be the Classical all-time leading scorer, but I worked hard at it, to get it. I got my 1,000 points, and that was my goal to set, to become Classical all-time leading scorer. And that's all I wanted to do, I needed 30 points last night, and I felt good about it. So I went into the game and I got 40.
Yesterday, Calvin Johnson had 20 in a blowout over Saugus. With Salem on the docket Tuesday, Calvin knows it's a team effort.
We want to get our momentum back. We want to take it out on Saugus and Danvers so we could go into the, Salem game with our momentum still going as we have on a winning streak. Going into the Salem game, me and Marcos, we're going to do some scoring, but we need for Lewis and Matt and Julio to step up. They need to get double figures out of us to win that game.
As we all know, big players come to play in big games. Calvin Johnson will most certainly heat it up at Veterans Memorial Fieldhouse Tuesday in Salem as he leaves for not the final time here at Lynn Classical.
A heart transplant costs about $92,000 and lungs $135,000. But no amount of money can replace your eyes. Help us protect the gift of sight. Call 1-800-331-2020.
Because the count would not have been enough.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Fieldhouse in Salem. I'm John Henry along with John Hopper. And about ready to start the second half of the Classical Salem confrontation here. Classical ahead 34-32. And a well-fought and well-played first half, John.
It certainly was, and Classical gets the ball first, and Salem had to play catch-up all the way through. But they're hoping the momentum carries over to the second half.
Yeah, they want to maintain that defensive intensity they had for about 5 trips down the floor in the last 2.5 minutes of the first half.
Sanchez is going to pick up the
early foul there on Sanchez, but that's what Salem has to do, and because everything keys off their defense. Scooney Penn gets free, starts flying up and down the floor. Calixte, all of them, and it nullifies some of the height advantage that Classical has when you can, make some easy buckets off the defensive pressure.
Well, with 5 minutes left, Scooney only had 3 points. He wound up with 11, and there's no mystery. Salem was making their run at that time in the last 5 minutes and got it down to within 2, and they can get back in the game and tie it right here. And as Scooney has seen double teams all night, and he sees it again. Now he gets loose, lets it fly. It's too strong. Eaton with the rebound.
And Penn that time denied the ball to Echeverria, and that's how much respect the Salem coaching staff has for Marcos Echeverria's ball handling skills.
Eaton too strong. Scooney with the rebound. He's out in front. No good. Scooney looking for a foul. Calvin Johnson looking for a charge.
Yeah, well, Johnson fell before Scooney even got there. I don't even think there ended up being any contact either way.
Calvin looking for it there. He goes down. No call there either. Calixte to Downs. The straightaway by Downs is good.
And he's still shooting the ball well, John. Squared up to the basket real fine, let it fly and knocked it home. Tie ball game.
We're right back where we started at the jump ball at center court. Dead even. And we've got 14-20 left to play to decide whether it will be one champion or co-champs. And we're assuming that they win the rest of their ball games.
Right, which you can't assume the way this season's gone. But there's a foul on Downs, John, and I don't know if that's number 3 or 4 on him. Here you're going to see it. The ball's going to come into Eaton, and he's going to come towards the basket, and, Downs just pushes him on the hip. Nice play that time.
Yeah, Sanchez got loose and laid it in.
Yeah, wide open, flash into the basket down the middle, and it was right there.
Classical would have English as their last game after tonight.
Is that a home game or an away game?
It's at Classical.
It's at Classical.
And Salem, after this one, would have Danvers, Beverly, and Steps call against Ciotti. They'd have Danvers to make up Beverly on Friday night, and I believe it's the first of next week against Peabody, their non-league game. So they have 2 league games left.
Look at that move.
Marcos Echeverria.
What a move.
He's a whirling dervish.
Yeah, but totally under control the whole way.
And Classical's put 4 straight points up.
Ciotti
to Downs.
Nice pass, and that's what happens when the ball gets doubled up top. You free somebody up on the baseline, and Downs is certainly taking advantage of that tonight.
And of course, what Tommy Grass is saying is the big guys inside who are playing zone should not allow that to happen. Lorino gets loose and lays it in.
Got loose, was off balance, still threw it up and threw it in.
Yeah, it looked like somebody had a piece of his shirt when he took the shot.
Well, I think he just lost his balance, but he made a great play.
Mateo from the corner for 2.
Boy, this is what championship basketball is all about, John. Up and down the floor, answer the call every time.
Eaton.
They got to travel out front.
They're going to get called for Steps.
He might have moved a foot before he put the ball on the floor.
And I was just about to say we have a 6'5" point guard when he started to bring the ball up. 40-38, Salem can get a tie, or back into a tie, I should say. They tied momentarily at 34. Mateo stops, they let him go, he makes the shot.
Yeah, you just can't let that young man have that 15-footer wide open, he's going to knock it home.
Well, if he heats up, he's going to put some pressure on the Classical defense because they're concentrating on Scooney. 40-40, as neither team lets anybody get too far away since that 11-point lead by Classical. Lorino with the fall away, shot no good. Marcos loses it. Calixte winds up with it. And Salem has got a chance to get the lead.
And again, they tried to force it in that time, and it just wasn't there.
Scooney goes to the basket.
That's a charge.
Yeah,
That's a good
offensive
call.
foul.
That's a good call.
Good job by Marcos.
Marcos just sat there and waited for him. He saw him coming the whole way. And that time, Marcos waited till the contact was made before he went down, unlike Johnson the last time. And the foul was called. That's a good call.
Marcos will bring it up. We're tied at 40 with 11:55 left to play in the basketball game. The big one in the Northeastern Conference before one of the biggest crowds we've ever seen. Galvin from the corner hits it for two. Scooney for three. It's good.
And one.
And Scooney celebrates as he got knocked down. He's got a chance for a 4-point play.
Glasgow's gonna take a timeout. Here we're gonna see the play before we go over to the timeout. There's a long three-pointer and it's in, and as you see, Penn's on the floor, and he's gonna go to the line.
And he was kicking his feet and bumping his hands. Listen to Tommy Grassa.
Mateo are hitting. Downs and Mateo are hitting. So we gotta go back. Let's do it on Mateo. Okay. Shoot outside. All right. How do you feel right now? Are you going to Mateo? You still have Scooney. Huh? Who does? Okay. Let me get Steven. All right. Steven Sub. You got Saul. All right. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. They're going to take the lead right here.
Oh, we got it.
All right. Get it back. Come on.
So we listen. I hope they could hear Tommy Grassa because with the
crowd
the
noise.
decibel level in here is, but I can't even hear you.
Yeah.
And we're sitting next to each other.
Yeah. Sometimes you believe that to be nice, John. But anyways, I
the
guess
three-point bomb.
He's brought Powell into the ball game. Coach Grassi has brought Powell into the ball game.
Yeah, and they've gone small again with the three guards.
Probably Chase Penn and the other guard to try and prevent him from making the long shots.
Scooney can't hit the shot. 43-42. Salem has taken the lead right now as Marcos pushes it up. Galvin gets swallowed up. The long shot by Marcos for three. (45-43) as Edmond flow here. We go back and forth. Powell right in Mateo's shirt. Bounce to Calixte. Drives the lane.
Oh, what a block
and
by Louis Eaton.
Eaton is saying, don't bring that stuff in here.
Yeah, and that's what happened early in the first half. There you're going to see it. The ball's going to come around to this side. And there you see the block. And, nice and clean.
They quickly double up. Giotti to Downs for the straightaway. No good. Calixte with a big rebound. Gets loose inside. Eaton with the big block again. Powell for three. Hangs there, won't go. Calixte with the rebound.
Down here, John. Oh, Powell made a great play.
Yeah, big play by Steve Powell. Calixte didn't see him early, or he would have had an easy deuce.
Yeah, no question about that. Mateo was sitting down here, the foul line extended on the offensive end, and, wide open. There you're going to see it. He just got the ball there a hair too late, and Powell made a great play.
That's a couple of times now Mateo has got ahead of the pack, and they haven't seen him. Calixte. Mateo, Giotti.
Nice.
Giotti gets hit,
foul on Eaton,
and knocked down. I think it's either Eaton or Larino.
Larino got all ball, it looked like to me, but I got to believe Eaton got him with the body.
Yeah, they called it on Eaton.
Block. There you're going to see it. You're going to see Larino from behind gets ball, and then Eaton just crashes.
Yeah, with the body. So Giotti will be at the line shooting two as he gets knocked down. And Tommy works hard, doesn't he?
Always.
Good shot of Tommy Giotti, who's going to be going to Harvard. Following in Brother Michael's footsteps.
That's fantastic. You love to see a young man, achieve some of the things like that. Get an opportunity to go to a college like Harvard. That's just outstanding.
So Tommy can get him back within one as Larino is out and Sanchez is back. Tommy makes the shot. His first point The Rams by 1, 45-44, as Sanchez looks to get loose. Blocked by Tommy Giotti, and the foul is going to be against Powell. Calixte was about to throw the outlet to Scooney, and Powell got a piece of his arm.
Yeah, and there was no foul called earlier when Sanchez went up with the shot. Here you're going to see the ball come down. Now Sanchez, a little bit of body there. I didn't see the foul call there, and then you get the foul on the reach.
Salem with a chance to take the lead. They trail by 1. Salem with the 1-game lead. Classical trying to get a share of the conference title. Calixte drives strong. Looked like Eaton got a piece of it and went in anyway.
It looked like Eaton just tried to lull him to sleep to come through the inside. Here you see Echeverria just go to the basket, got hammered. And Eaton with the follow, John. Oh, and they call it T on Eaton. That's baloney.
I don't know about that call.
That's baloney.
But what a great fake by Marcos Echeverria.
And I better not say anything till I see it again, but boy, I'll tell you. There you're going to see it. Yeah, Echeverria gets hammered, no call by the same guy, and the only call he knows is that Eaton grabbed the rim. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Scooney Penn will try to tie it up.
Go ahead.
And he does. So we're tied at 47. He can put Salem ahead by 1. All technicals being 2 shots. And he does.
But that's why I don't coach, John. If I coached, I'd probably
we'd both get thrown out of here.
You know how Cheney went in that news conference? That'd be me. I'd last about a half a game.
Well, they take away the dunk, actually. They offset the dunk by Eaton, but with the 2 free throws.
Yeah, and offset the emotion that went along with the dunk, John. You know that's real important. You know, Eaton follows with a huge dunk, and you get the crowd, the classical side of the crowd, up and screaming and yelling, and all of a sudden that's just all settled down. Salem comes down, makes the 2 free throws, and it's a 1-point ball game.
Well, they're talking about it now because the other important thing, John, is that a lot of people lose track of is it's now a personal.
Yeah, which is
so. Yeah. It wasn't before. You had to pick up a couple of technicals to be ejected. Now it's a personal foul. So Eaton now has. We're down in the corner. We can't really tell, but they've got either 3 or 4. Penn can't hit the shot. Marcos ahead to Calvin. Big block by Giotti and saved by Giotti. Penn picks it off, and that's a big defensive play.
Yeah, and absolutely outstanding play by Giotti. Got to reach. Oh,
Calvin.
Wait a minute, calling a block?
I think they got Calvin for reaching around the pick.
Yeah, okay. And at the table, Grass is saying, what about the step-in block call? Because when the official, Jaworski in this case, made the call, he called a block, and I thought at first he called the offensive player for stepping in and blocking.
Giotti gives it to Calixte. Salem leading by 1, and they have the ball. Downs.
Oh, what a steal there.
Big play by Calvin to Marcos, and he lays it in.
And Coach Grassa just can't believe there was no call on that play, and neither can I.
Penn to Mateo. Shot is missed. Downs with the rebound. Loose on the floor, gets it out to Giotti. (49-48). The Rams on top now as we go back and forth.
Yeah, and we have 8:42 left, John, and it seems like we're in the last 30 seconds of a game. It's so intense.
I know it. The shot is missed. Echeverria, the touchdown pass to Calvin. Blocked by Tommy Giotti. They get him for the foul. And they've been a little selective what they called, John. No question that was a foul. But they've let a lot of stuff go.
There was no question it was a foul. I was surprised it took as long as it did to blow the whistle. Yeah, you're going to say a good shot. Well, Johnson might have pushed off a little there, John.
Yeah, it could have been called the other way. You're right.
Yeah.
Calvin will be at the line.
How many is that on Downs, John? I think that's 5. If that's 5 on him, I think they just had to replace him. That's big. He's had a huge game for Salem.
Calvin makes 1. he can give Classical a 3-point cushion. He misses. Sanchez and Giotti fighting for it. It'll be Salem ball.
There you see it again there. That's the previous play where Echeverria got hammered.
Reyes to Scooney. A 2-point cushion, if you want to call it a cushion, for the Rams. Joya knocked out of bounds by Classical as they try to give it back to Scooney. 8:10 left in the basketball game, 50-48. Mateo loses it. Powell out in front. Powell lays it in. His first basket makes it a 4-point lead for the Rams. 52-48 with just under 8 minutes to play in the basketball game. George Reyes. To Giotti in the middle. Takes a couple of times. The hook is good by Giotti.
Nice job by Giotti, Tommy, that time. He waited till Eaton went up. On the way down, he took it up strong and laid it in. Nice job.
Well, good head and shoulder fake. Got Eaton off the floor. And Eaton's got to be a little foul trouble, too, with that technical. He's got 3 or 4. And it's back to a deuce, 52-50. The Rams on top. Marcos to Calvin.
Oh, he got hung up in a corner. It's going to be Salem ball.
He lost
right
it.
Over Johnson's leg.
Off Calvin.
See, that's really not, you can't blame that on Johnson. I think Echeverria made the wrong choice and threw it into the corner, and the double came immediately.
And he got in the deepest part of the corner you can get in. Reyes gets it across to Joya, to Giotti, setting a screen, looking to get Scooney clear. Marcos looking for a charge.
Yeah, they call it Garrity looking for a block, and we got an out-of-bounds call.
Both coaches working the officials well.
Yeah, absolutely, all part of the game.
I was at that Temple UMass game, and they're working these guys just as good as Calipari and Cheney did. Marcos looking to go.
Ooh,
offensive foul. That was a good call.
Yeah, anytime you put the head down and just shoulder him up, you're going to get that call. That's an easy one.
Substitution, Calixte will come in, replacing Saul Mateo. So it's Calixte, Reyes, Joya, Penn, and Giotti. For the visiting Rams, it's Sanchez, Johnson, Eaton, Echeverria, and Powell. As Calixte will look to bring it up. The Rams still by 2. Joya to Giotti inside. The hook hangs there and goes in.
Nice job. He's taking it to the basket.
And we're tied at 52.
That was just some nice 2-man inside basketball.
We were tied at 34. We were tied at 40. Now we're tied at 52. And now they try to go alley-oop to Eaton.
They tried to lob into Eaton. Be interesting to say if they call it on a shot or not on a shot. He was definitely going to go up and try and jam it. Yep, he's calling it a foul. Here you're going to see the pass coming up. Echeverria heaves it up high, and Eaton goes up there strong, and Giotti gets him from behind. Oh, and I guess Downs only had 4, John, because he's coming back into the game.
Yeah, and Tommy's going to. Tommy's in foul trouble too.
So they probably both have 4 now.
6:17 is going to be a case of who's left to play on the floor. Shot is missed.
Seems like we've had a lot of those games this year, John, where foul trouble and, players going out. I can think specifically, Aaron Fox from Marblehead and
a couple of times.
The big guy Cleveland from Swampscott, that really affected the outcome of ball games.
Eaton can't bring him home. We're still tied, and now Salem has a chance to take the lead. Reyes loses it, saves it. Calixte got to it first. Joya goes inside. To Calixte, the foul inside is going to be against either Powell or Sanchez. And Salem was lucky to get the ball back that time.
Yeah, they weren't cohesive that time, and they ended up with a foul, so they lucked out. And you see
coming in the game is John Paul Grimes. If you seen us do Salem games before. You remember we told you he was a starting guard for Beverly last year. A Salem product. Came back to Salem this year to finish out his senior year and has been addition to Paul Garrity's basketball team. He's in there now. And right now, Salem is as small as they can get.
Yeah, they can't get much smaller than this. Even though they have Gioia and Downs in the ball game, you know, without Big Tommy in there, they're at a disadvantage.
52-52, 5:55 left to play in the basketball game. Marcos going against Scooney. Calvin looking to get loose. Out to Marcos. In the lane. Dumps it down to Sanchez. Nice play for the basket.
Absolutely. And again, I hate to repeat myself, but great things happen when Echeverria has the ball going to the basket.
Great penetration. Dumped it down, set up the basket. Gioia fakes, takes the shot and hits it.
Nice job, nice job. Both centers for Salem are now getting eaten up off the floor here on the up fakes.
Well, they've got more baskets in the last few minutes inside than they did the whole first half.
Right.
From inside. Calixte has a hold of Johnson. And Calvin will go to the free throw line. 54-54.
Yeah, smart play by Johnson that time. He's on the baseline. He had the Salem player, Calixte, on his hip. He felt the pressure and he just went right up through it, knowing the official was standing right there.
That's that senior experience.
No question.
So Calvin will be at the line to break the tie. He's got 19, looking for 20. And he is a scorer, isn't he?
Absolutely. Oh, what a steal by Eaton.
Calvin with it. Nice spin move. Big block by Gioia. Nice play.
Absolutely great.
Scooney steps up for three and hits it.
What a turnaround that is. What a huge turnaround.
Salem back in front as Scooney's three gives him a 1-point lead, 57-56.
That's what happens when you don't quit on it. The Salem defense didn't quit on Johnson.
Powell can't hit it. Gioia with another big play.
And I really don't know if I'd want Powell bring the ball up the middle. I'd want that ball in Echeverria's hands with the experience that Marcos has.
Downs can't hit the shot. Sanchez with the rebound. Marcos looking to push it up. We're going to get Tommy Giotti back for Salem. Eaton, they post up Marcos, out to Powell. Drives the lane. Shot is blocked by Gioia, but John Paul Grimes got a piece of him. And we'll have foul shots.
Yeah, and again that time they put Echeverria on a wing. Here you're going to see him get the ball. He kicks it out to Powell. Powell comes down the middle and gets hammered by both of them. So he'll be going to the line. But as I was saying before, nothing against Powell's ability. I just think that he hasn't played that many minutes this year, John. And myself, I'd rather go with the experience in Echeverria handling the ball.
Plus, I think you said it very succinctly. Good things happen when Marcos has the basketball.
Absolutely.
Powell misses the first. The best he can do now is tie it. Salem leading by one with 4:08 left. Salem, Powell getting a lot of help from the fans.
Yeah, just a little.
Rooting him on. Misses the second one. Out of bounds, off Sanchez. So Salem holds on to the lead and the ball. And it will be Calixte. Giotti is back. Mateo is back. Calixte drives, can't hit it. Off Calixte, out of bounds.
That's a good call. Calixte got his hands on the ball. Eaton made a nice defensive play. Didn't allow him to take the easy basket and make the easy basket, and then Calixte tipped it out of bounds.
Double dribble.
Yeah, that call's made every time. You just can't do it.
And see, unfortunately, John, my question is, and you hate to sound like a money quarterback, but I would rather see Eaton down low and have the guard handling the ball out there than having the big guy pop out and get it.
So would I. But you and I have microphones in our hands, not clipboard.
That's for sure. Joya to Penn.
And again, Salem's going to go to their money player, I guarantee you.
Giardi setting screens. They're trying to get Penn loose for a shot. 57-56. Salem's going to take a timeout and talk about it. And John, you talk about these two teams. I'm looking just a couple of stats that certainly flew me away when I saw it.
Fellas, Kenny, let's pull him in, all right? Look it, we've made some poor decisions in the last 4 minutes, all right? Poor decisions and poor shot selection. Let's forget that now. We're down a point. We need the ball back. They're going to go 4 corners now. He's going to do it. They did that against Winthrop the other day, all right? We need to dig. Okay, Steven, you go to Mateo, all right? We have score. We have the foul line. Let's not give Calixte any open shots, all right? Let's please deny the pass into the paint. Those guys get the ball there. The first half, all the easy layups. Come on, guys. 3:22, a lot of time.
Plaster looking for their 7th crown since the league was accepted, but no other school in the conference has won 4. And Salem, in 7 years on the court in the Northeastern Conference, 115-8.
And they're gonna, there's no question, they're gonna keep the ball in the hands of Penn as much as possible. And he's gonna be flashing every chance he can get to get open.
And they're gonna make Glasgow work here because they're gonna look for a good shot. Penn has it blocked.
Oh, is that awful? I'm sorry. And I just can't stand an official that waits until 3 seconds after the play to call a foul.
And he looked like he called it after the shot. That was a big defensive play by Marcos. Wow. And we have to tell you up front.
You're going to see it. Now, you're going to see the ball come around the wing.
Watch the good
Ben's
block.
Ben's going to have it. And you're going to see, okay. No, and you saw it. Now he comes running out with the call. It was 3 to 4 seconds after the play. Regardless, I didn't think he hit him anyway.
The 2 free throws. And Salem leads by 3, the biggest lead they've had in a while.
Yeah, 2:57 left.
And see who Glasgow goes to here. They got Calvin Johnson posted up with Calixte. Marcos for 3, no good. And Joya with another big rebound.
Yeah, that's a big series there. They doubled down on the inside guys. Salem played it real well. Glasgow kicked it back to Echeverria and he couldn't hit the shot.
Calixte throws it up, no good. The foul will be against Lewis Eaton, I believe.
Yeah, Eaton got him down below with the body that time on the drive to the basket.
And I think, John, the difference in the game, after Salem made that run at halftime, they come out in the second half and they've taken it inside against Glasgow, and that's been a difference.
You're going to see the drive to the basket. You're going to see Eaton come over, and boy, there's a lot of daylight between those shirts, but the foul was called. And now we got a timeout on Glasgow. And let's listen in on the coach.
So you can be the double guy. Lewis, is Giardi in the game now?
I think so, yeah.
Good Giardi, all right?
Single stack.
Huh? We need to get the ball down low in the block, and that's not happening.
That's over with.
Guys, get the ball down low in the block. Come on, let's go. Take Calixte and let him keep Mateo.
So we listened to Tommy Grasser talking about his defensive strategy, and he's got to be worried about keeping Eaton in the game in foul trouble.
Yeah.
Calixte will be at the foul line, and it'll be interesting to see if Glasgow goes straight man-to-man, trying to shut everybody down. If they get away from that gimmick.
With 2:31 and Salem on the line with a 3-point lead, John, a lot depends on what happens with these free throws. He missed the first. You know, and again, you know, with a three-point shot, whenever you can keep it in within 3 points, you can keep it in within one possession.
Well,
so this is a big free throw.
With Marcos and Calvin, you always get a shot. Calixte makes it. 60-56. The Rams on top. Calvin has to kick it back out to Marcos. And Calvin has been quiet for a while, John.
Yeah, he has. He hasn't had a real opportunity to square up to the basket.
He's only got 5 points this half, only 1 basket.
Clearing out and trying to play a two-man game with Johnson and Echeverria.
Marcos gets swallowed up, drives the paint, throws it up. No good. We got a whistle and a foul.
And you know, why did I know that was going to be called?
But they've done an excellent job on Calvin with only 1 basket here in the second half.
Absolutely. You're going to see it here. Let's see. It's going to come out big to Sanchez. He goes back to Echeverria. Echeverria drives through the lane. Kind of forces a little bit, and the foul's called.
Marcos misses the first, and they've missed a few foul shots.
Yeah, they both have, both teams. And, you know, whenever you're playing a big game like this, it usually comes down to the charity stripe.
And they magnify when you need them. He can get them within 3. Misses the shot. Sanchez loses it. Mateo gets it to Penn, and we got 2 minutes straight up to play. Joya goes to the basket, kicks it out to Giotti.
Smart play, kick it out, take some time off. Got a 4-point lead, no rush anywhere.
And this is the guy they want to have the basketball, and Marcos commits the foul. And you don't want to foul him, although you get to the point where you don't have much choice. But Giotti did handle the ball. If they were going to foul that, you know.
It just looked like they tried to foul Penn that time. It looked like he was the guy they were after. There was no contact made. The ball went to 3 different players prior to Penn, and then Echeverria went over, made a half-hearted try to steal the ball, but certainly made the foul.
Penn makes the first, he'll get the bonus. He can give them their biggest lead of the half. Misses it, Sanchez. So it's a 5-point game with 1:45 left. Glasgow playing catch-up. They led all the way through the first half. Calvin for 3, no good. Missed. Sanchez with the rebound, no good. Giotti's going to get the foul.
I think that might be 5 on Giotti. But again, we go back to the line with, you know, big free throws. And it wasn't. It was only the 4th on Giotti, so he stays.
Sanchez misses the shot.
3 in a row they've missed, John, and you just can't afford to do that at this point in the ball game.
And they missed the second one. Downs gets the big rebound, kicks it out to Mateo, and they
look for Penn.
Yeah, they got it in his hands, and they're gonna keep it with him as much as they can. Scooney is gonna go to the free throw line.
And as we say about Echeverria with the ball in his hands, you know, on the other side of the spectrum, you'll look at Penn with the ball in his hands, as you're going to see here. Just tremendous things happen when you have the abilities of both these young men.
Especially down the stretch.
Oh, no question. When you have the lead and you can put the ball in that young man's hand, it's money in the bank.
With Glasgow being down 5 and possibly 7, we see Steve Fotopoulos, who is actually one of their better three-point shooters in the game for the first time, along with Matt Larino. We're going to get timeout.
It always amazed me how you can bring a cold player in from the floor and he can fire up threes.
Listen. All right, look it. You know that Temple offense, even though they're not playing like that, right? Still can use the Temple offense. I want Stephen Powell in the corner. Whoever has the ball, Stephen or Calvin, is going to get a pick off of Matt in the side of his hand. And we got to take some threes. Now listen, it's real loud. Bring it in. Another thing. You want me in the corner? Yeah, you and Steven start in the corners, right? Calvin and Marcus, we got to take some threes. But remember, when you come off the pick, if both guys come to you, right, you these guys in the corners. Kick it to the corners. Do you understand?
Guys, right?
Number two off.
Steal. Let's take the foul early and try not to foul fucking Scooney. You guys got that?
We're man to man. We need the ball back.
Got that, Steve? Matt.
1:18 left to play in the basketball game as you listen to Tommy Grasta. 61-56. The Witches on top and Scooney Penn at the line trying to add to that. Salem looking to go 19-0 at home under Coach Garrity as Penn rattles it around and in. He's got 23, and with 5 minutes to go in the first half, he had 3.
Yeah.
In and out. Lorino, and still they're within 2 threes. And you know Calvin's are going to try and throw it up. Calvin, long range, misses the shot. The foul taken by Matt Lorino, and Downs will be at the free throw line.
Yeah, they had no choice that time. They're 6 down with 1:06 to go. If you don't score, you have to foul. It's your only opportunity.
Well, again, John, looking at Classical up by 11. Salem, along with Scooney, able to make that run to get it down within 2. And then they come out in the second half and took it right inside. Drew some fouls, got some layups inside. And
the shot blocking presence just wasn't there in the second half as it was in the first half of Classical. And this young man's played a heck of a ball game.
What a game he's played. And I got to tell you, for most people at home may not know this, he's a former Lynnite.
Is he really?
He's from Lynn, and he moved to Salem and played. He was a heck of a football player for them, a linebacker. And 63-56.
Boy, is that a big steal?
Scooney lays it in.
Boy, that just about seals it there.
That's the nail in the coffin right there. A 9-point lead for Salem.
Oh, that's got to be a foul.
Calixte's going to pick up the foul.
That one.
And I'm sure Coach Gary doesn't want that. No. You don't want Classical to get points if you're Salem with the clock stopped. And if you're Tommy Grassa, you're saying, we're very thankful that they fouled them. We can get points and stop the clock. Calixte is out and Joyer is in. Shot is missed. Joyer with the rebound gets tied up.
And a grab. And they're 0 for 6, John, in the last minute and a half of the ball game on the foul line. And you just can't do that and expect to win a ball game.
I'm not sure, but they're going to foul on Matt Lorino.
Yeah, it looked like a reach, John. Looked like a foul. You know, again, we're down the other baseline. It's awful difficult to see.
But credit the inside game of Salem. Tommy Giotti, Frank Joyer, and Phil Downs with taking a little bit of pressure off Scooney, getting some points, and that eased the pressure a little bit on Scooney, and he was able to do his thing. And the big thing, the defense, they shut Calvin down in the second half. He only had 1 basket, 5 points after having 15 in the first half.
Just never seemed to get in the flow. It just never flowed for Classical offensively in the second half.
Powell looking for 3 from the corner. No good. Penn with the rebound. Just holds on. He gets fouled by Sanchez. So Salem, as most Salem people will say, they're going to get their 7th straight championship on the court, as they like to say.
Yeah, and if Classical had taken care of business with the other teams in the conference, they would have got a share of the title, but that didn't happen. And, Salem, congratulate them on being the conference champs again. A little early, they do have to play Beverly, but...
Penn misses the shot. Marcos pushing it up, looking for 3. Double clutches, hits the front of the rim.
Hit the rim with that?
Marcos gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Sanchez for 3. In and out. Downs with the rebound, is going to get fouled by Powell. And it's just a case of running out the string and what the final score will be.
Yeah.
But
and if you look at the score at the end now with Salem going to the line again, possibly they could beat them by 10 or 11, 12 points, John. It certainly wasn't a 10 or 12 point ball game.
By no means. And Classical's had to put them at the line at over the last 2 minutes.
Just a great high school basketball game. You get a little view of the crowd there. They're starting to leave. It's just been a heck of a game to watch.
Well, the Salem fans are cheering, and the Classical fans are certainly depressed, but they shouldn't be.
No, the state tournament's coming, and
this team is certainly going to do something in the tournament, and they're the team to beat. They're the defending champs. You got to beat them. And they're going to have a great run at another championship as Echevarria does his thing and lays it in. 10 seconds and counting down as Mateo Penn has it, gets hit by Echevarria, and he'll go to the line. Scooney will be looking for points number 26 and 27. But, you have to give credit. These kids come over, Classical come over here, and under trying circumstances with things happening around the high school, they come out here and work very hard, played an excellent game. And I don't care what anybody says, you still can't separate those two. It's still got to weigh a little bit on you. And they come over here, and these kids made a heck of a performance. And both these teams are outstanding.
Not the only, but one of the sad realities of it is, no matter what the outcome of the game, the reality that happened yesterday, and it's just a very sad time for Classical High School.
So the final score, 67 to 58, and the difference, John, they come out, they outscored Classical in the second half, 35 to 24, and part and parcel of that is the defense as Salem is celebrating with all their players, crowding around the coach and Penn and everybody else.
It's a great championship.
Credit their defense, John.
Absolutely.
Calvin had 15 in the first half. They held them to one basket in the second half. And that's an excellent job when you can hold an all-time leading scorer to only one basket in the second half. They did an outstanding job. And credit Salem as well. Classical got that 11-point lead. They could have easily packed it in and said, it's over, we're down. We still get a piece of the championship. Instead of that, they worked hard, got it down to 2 at halftime, and then come out and took over the second half.
No question, John. It's just, the build-up to this game was tremendous. The kids have been looking forward to it since the first game, and they've been pointing at it for a long way, and it turned out to be a great ball game. The score ended up being a 9-point difference, but it was much closer than that. Both coaches did tremendous jobs, and the kids played their hearts out on both teams, and you have to have a winner and a loser, and tonight it was Salem High School.
Well, it's almost fitting the two best teams in the league split. It's unfortunate that Classical had those other two losses that cost them. Otherwise, they might have been co-champs. You almost wish they could have been co-champs because they were that good. The two of them there wasn't much between them. But
that's
Salem
why they play the games, John.
Yeah, Salem made up a lot after that 18-point blowout at Classical. But again, Salem goes 19-0 at home under Coach Garrity. They're now 116-8 in games played on the court in the Northeastern Conference, and I think that's mind-boggling.
Yeah, sure.
But Scooney Penn had 26. Saul Mateo had 13. Ben Calixte had 5. Tommy Giotti had 5 and made some big plays inside. Joyer only had 2 points, but he played very well inside.
Yeah, he came in, did a nice job.
Phil Downs was outstanding. He had 16 points.
That's the word, outstanding.
On the other side, Eaton had 9 with a mess of blocks, most of them in the first half, I might add. Sanchez had 8. Lorino had 6. Echevarria had 13. Johnson led them with 20. Steve Powell chipped in with 2. But Salem did what they had to do in the second half. They, as you mentioned, late in the first half, they picked that defense up a notch and played the type of defense we've been seeing them play for many years. That's won them quite a few championships.
They picked up the defense. They they got Scooney loose a little bit inside. They made some baskets inside, didn't get the blocks. Classical didn't block the shots in the second half like they did in the first half, and they won the ball game.
So now they have a 2-game edge with only a couple of games left, and only 2 games. They clinched a tie for the Northeast Conference Championship right now. They have to play Danvers and Beverly, and the next win will certainly turn it around and give them the outright championship. So, and which will be their 9th, by the way, since the inception of the Northeastern Conference, and just exceptional. If Salem fans are used to saying it's our 7th in a row, it's actually 6 out of 7 because they had the ineligible player last year. But whichever way you put it, they've been very successful, as has Classical over the course of the Northeastern Conference. So the big one in the Northeast Conference has been put to bed.
Yep.
Salem with the big second half after coming back from an 11-point deficit in the first half. They come back, they catch them at halftime, they pull ahead, and it was nip and tuck right down. We have, I think, 5 ties in the second half, and they finally get Scooney on track. He winds up with 26. They catch him in the second half. Salem goes to the foul line with Classical forcing them to foul him at the end, and it winds up a 9-point ball game. But as John mentioned, certainly not a 9-point game, but a terrifically exciting game, and the type of game we're going to see both these teams play in the tournament. And it'll be a big game for the tournament for both these teams, with Classical defending their Division III championship.
Oh, no question. Both teams should go deep into the tournament, and both of them have an opportunity to win. Certainly, Classical is the defending state champ in their division. You know, it's onward and upward.
And they're certainly going to do big things, as we expect them to do in Division III. We'll be following them, and hopefully we'll be keeping an eye on Salem as well. And the final score, once again, Salem 67, Classical 58, and Salem gets the big leg up. They can do no worse than tie now for the Northeastern Conference, and they would have to stub their toe against either Danvers or Beverly, both, to do that. So it looks like Salem will win the conference once again. So the final score is 67-58. For John Henry, I'm John Hoffman saying we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being with us, and we'll catch you next time on TV3 Sports.
Good night.